this evening. Appreciate everybody swimming out here this evening. It's been a flood ever since I got here. But, of course, sometimes when things change, different equipment, something's not here, something's not here, it creates some trials. Just put it that way. But we always persevere through. I've never seen us fall down and say, oh, we just can't do it. And she always tricks us when she says, oh, it's not going to sound very good, but it always sounds awesome. So you guys are always a blessing to hear. So I do appreciate that. And yes, so the study is over, the study of the shack. And the shack is not available yet, so we couldn't rent it. So we got to talking a couple weeks prior, and the movie that came to my mind was, and I'm sure it was a total God thing that laid it on my heart because it fit right into what the study was about, and that's the grace card. And when Howie asked me, hey, can you speak? Because I want to go on this reunion. I said, yeah, sure. And immediately I felt like I needed to speak on grace because it's something I think it's misunderstood, and I think we think that it's something we receive a lot of, but we don't have to give it. And that's not the case. God gives us grace, and so we should give others. But today it's based on the lesson is based on Ephesians 2:1-10. And both the shack and the grace card are about forgiveness that leads to mercy and grace. And the gentlemen that go through these trials, they're fairly similar. Oddly enough, they're both named Mac, which again is to me a God thing because it just fit right into the whole storyline, so to speak. They're both on these trails of recovery, and they don't even know it. And they're both angry. They lost children. They're both angry at the world, angry at God, and they don't want to have anything to do with any of it. But it's for different scenarios. But ultimately, at the very end, the result is exactly the same. It's healing through Christ. It's that they got to experience grace, and they got to experience mercy. Ephesians 2:8, to me, headlined this very well. It says, for by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God. The grace card is something in the movie, The Grace Card, that is given to this pastor who he's struggling with his own, not belief, but where am I going in life? Am I doing the right thing? But it says, I promise to pray for you every day. Ask for forgiveness, grant you the same, and be your friend always. And I think that's quite profound, actually, because the part of that we miss, I think, in our day-to-day lives is grant you the same. We want to ask for forgiveness, we want to ask for grace, we want to ask for mercy, because it's really easy to get, but it's hard to give. Ephesians 2:1-10. I'm going to read the whole scripture. It's by grace through faith is what the Bible has headlined in here. And it says, and you he made alive, who were dead in trespasses and sins, in which you once walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit who now works in the sons of disobedience, among whom also we once conducted ourselves in the lusts of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature children of wrath, just as the others. But God, who is rich in mercy, because of his great love, with which he loved us, even when we were dead in trespasses, made us alive together with Christ. By grace you have been saved, and raised us up together, and made us sit together in the heavenly places in Jesus Christ, that in the ages to come he might show the exceeding riches of his grace and his kindness toward us in Christ Jesus. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is a gift of God, not of works, lest anyone should boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. I know it was a long scripture, but I felt it important to read the entire thing because it talks about how we're of the world, but now through Christ, we don't have to be of the world anymore. We still have to be in it, but we don't have to be of it. The key part of all of this to me is the faith, because you have to have faith that God's going to do what he says he's going to do. You have to have faith that God is going to be true to his word, and that he is going to guide you on a path that ultimately is going to lead you to recover. It's going to lead you to that grace and to that mercy. He can see things much better than we can. And that's why we talked once in one of the small groups about if we were a judge, we were going to be the judge. And ultimately at the end it's like, no. Because you know what? First off, we don't have the right to be judged. That's God's right. But second, we don't have the ability. Because our mind is like this. God's mind is infinite. He sees all. He sees what our decision is going to create a year down the road. He sees how it's all going to work together. And he sees how one life can touch another life that can touch another life. And that web of connectivity. You know, that's why they call it the World Wide Web, because it truly is a web of wires and connections and computers, but it makes one big giant place. And that's what the body of Christ is to me. We're all individuals, but we're all connected through the same God. We're all different parts of the world, we're all different people. So he sees how all that web works together. So what is grace? I really like this definition. The free and unmerited favor of God as manifested in the salvation of sinners and the bestowal of blessings. I thought that was pretty awesome. And I've underlined some important things there because, especially the unmerited, no one's worthy of grace. Nobody is. And I have to apologize about my voice. I've been screaming at some ducks for a few days, and so it's kind of got a little gravelly. So I apologize if I'm trying to take it a little slow so I don't, it's like you can understand. But do we deserve grace? No, we don't. The thing is that God has mercy on us and blesses us even when we don't deserve it. That's the beauty of having the salvation through Christ, is that we have that ability to say, I'm sorry, and ask for forgiveness. Can you have grace without mercy, though? You cannot. They go hand in hand. But I gotta pose this question. Isn't grace the same as mercy? Because they kind of have a similar meaning. Mercy and grace are often confused. While they may have similar meanings, grace and mercy are not the same. To summarize the difference, mercy is God not punishing us as our sins deserve. And grace is God blessing us despite the fact that we do not deserve it. Mercy is deliverance from judgment. Grace is extending kindness to the unworthy. And I thought that summed it up pretty good. And through all of this, you're going to see the fact that we don't deserve it, any of it. We are only able to achieve grace and mercy through forgiveness because we accepted Jesus Christ as our Savior and the fact that he shed his blood for us on the cross. Without that one act, grace and mercy and forgiveness would mean nothing. Because all sinners centers around Jesus Christ. We're all unworthy. So at the end of the movie, Howie brought this out, and I really liked it, so I added it, and I wanted to share it. And it's grace, God's riches at Christ's expense. And so I pondered that for a minute, and I was like, wow, okay, it is. Because through Christ is the only way we get to the Father, right? Isn't that what the Scripture says? But when you read that, what is the expense? What did it cost Christ to give us God's riches? It cost him everything. It cost him his life. His human, earthly life. Yes, he lives forever. He's part of the divine Trinity. But he came to this earth completely 100% as human. He went through the suffering, he went through the pain, he went through trials, he went through tribulation. He went through everything that you and I could ever imagine walking through in our daily lives. And yet, despite us, he died on the cross and he shed his blood. And I myself, and I'm sure there's a lot of others, I don't know, maybe not, maybe I'm one of you, but I often take for granted what that true sacrifice really was. When I say it and I read it, I understand it, I believe it, I know it's correct. But it's like it doesn't sink in sometimes. And so I really sit and think about what he did. You know, we all talk about in this last study, because the study was about a man who lost his child. How would we feel? What would we do if such a thing occurred? Would we do the same thing as Mac? Would we want to go out and just find the guy that did it and just wring his neck and put him where we thought he belonged, which Mac wanted him in hell, which is I'm sure where we would want anyone that harmed our children. But would we extend grace to that same man? Think about that. Would you have mercy on him? He's like, no way, would not. Okay, well, what if Christ said that about you? You're not a murderer, but you're unworthy of his grace. You're unworthy of being in front of the Father, except through Christ. If he said, you know what, forget it, we wouldn't have salvation. So is it really, he gave his life even though you were a sinner. It's not like you weren't sinners. He said, I'm going to go ahead and do this just in case, that way in case you become a sinner, you're already covered. No, we were already sinners, and he still did it. So what right do we have to not extend the same type of mercy and forgiveness and grace that Christ gave us? Do you think we have that right? We do not. Kind of just covered that. How do we obtain grace? Accepting Jesus Christ our Savior, asking for forgiveness. It's only through him we have that ability. But we have to do it with a true repentant heart. And when you actually go before God, and of course he can read your heart. He sees and knows and hears everything. And it's funny, for those of you who saw The Shack, there's a part where Mac and Saryu, who's basically the Holy Spirit, are walking through this garden that they're preparing. And he says, wow, this is a mess, because it looks a mess. But she goes, oh, this is so beautiful. And he says something like, yeah, it's pretty nice. And she turned around, she looked at him, she said, that's not what you're thinking. And he just realized, I'm talking to a Godhead. I'm talking to one of the Trinity here. And I just lied to the Holy Spirit. Which you can't, because they know. And he says, you're right. I think this is a mess. I think it's complete, utter chaos in here. But it's not. It's because he was looking at it through his angry heart, his angry mind. He wasn't looking at it with the love and the appreciation for what it truly was. And I just thought that was funny. But Romans 3:23-26 says, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is Christ Jesus, whom God set forth as a propitiation by his blood, through faith to demonstrate his righteousness. Because in his forbearance God had passed over the sins that were previously committed, to demonstrate at the present time his righteousness, that he might be just and the justifier of the one who has faith in Jesus." And you notice they finish it again speaking of faith. Because ultimately, if you don't have faith, you hinder what God can do for you. Because you have to have that faith of, I'm giving it all to you. And I can tell you in my own personal walk, until I truly decided to let things go, it didn't work. There are many times I gave lip service. I'd go to church, I'd say things, and I'd sing, and, but I like to say I was doing church. And when you're just doing it, it doesn't have any meaning. It wasn't until I truly started living a godly life and started going to church to fellowship with fellow body of Christ and to recharge my batteries that I truly understood what all that meant. I spent way too long in what I like to call my own 40-year treks through the desert. Because I just kept thinking I could just do it all by myself. I could just fix it. If I could just do this, then I would fix that. If I could just do that, then that would be fixed. But every decision I made seemed to make things worse. It didn't ever seem to make things better. And then comes my other favorite quote, which I'm sure you've all heard. If you want your life to change, you have to change your life. So it wasn't until I truly made the change of giving it to God and truly trying to live the life that Christ wants me to live, which includes being part of the church body, that I got it. And it's only then that I truly understood the magnitude of what grace really is. Because I look back on my life and I see instances where I'm like, wow, if I had gone left instead of right, I would not be here today. If I would have done that instead of that, I would not be here today. Because I did some really stupid things as a young boy, as I'm sure a lot of us have. And I can truly say that I think the one saving grace was my mother. My mother was a strong, God-fearing woman that was relentless in her prayers, especially for her children. And I believe it's not only, I think that is a huge reason why we've all made it where we're at. Because God heard her prayer despite me in my actions and my thoughts. He heard her prayer. And because she was truly she truly had Christ in her heart, and she was a godly servant, He honored her prayers. We all pray for our children every day, I'm sure. We pray for our children 2-3 times a day. They're growing up and things change and they're kind of scattered abroad. I have a son in Italy in the Navy, and one son that's in New Orleans and is getting himself out of some issues, and we have kids in Wisconsin, and I mean they're spread out all over. I think Rebecca's the only one that's still close. But it's okay. I feel okay because God's watching over them. If I sat around worried every day, then I'm not truly giving it to God. That's the thing we miss, is that we can say we're giving it to God, but when we hold on to it, we worry about it, we grasp it, we're not truly giving it to God. And He can't bring that mercy and that grace into our lives or their lives because we're still trying to control it. So this is kind of the question I asked in the beginning. How hard Are we actually supposed to give others grace? Are we supposed to show grace to others? Or do you think it's just for you to get? That was a question, by the way. I think it's both ways. It's hard for us to give it because you want to know why? Because we have to humble ourselves and we have to forgive those that we don't want to forgive. We have to show mercy to the people that we don't want to show mercy to. Because it's only through forgiveness and mercy that we can then have grace. It's only at that point that God can truly work in that situation. And this is where, we talk about, moms praying for their kids. And this is the thing we miss, guys. Again, we don't see all the connections that this person makes to that person. And that's why I love this text service we have in the church. If you're not part of it, I recommend that you do it, only because that's a key element for us to reach out in a mass and say, pray for this person. They're having an immediate need. Because there's nothing more powerful than the body of Christ coming together with a single goal to specifically pray for a specific purpose. There's nothing more powerful than that. And God will honor that. And this church body is truly a family. I know I look at it that way. I know my wife looks at it that way. I know most everybody here I see looks at this as a family unit. We want to continue to grow our family unit. But we also want to pray for our family unit. And I think that's why, as we pray as a whole, God's grace extends well beyond our reach. Christ forgives us every day. Every single day. Multiple times a day in my case. There's never a time when I've asked for forgiveness that I felt like he said, nah, not this time. I'm tired of it. So when you look at it, if God's doing this, and Jesus Christ forgives you every day, multiple times a day, why do you think you have the right to not forgive somebody? Or not show somebody mercy or grace? In the grace card, the very end, there was a police officer who loses a child, almost lost a second child. But the child he lost was to a drug dealer that was racing through the neighborhood trying to get away from the police. And so, of course, he was very bitter, very angry. At the end of the movie, the gentleman that actually ran over his child had found Christ in jail. He'd become saved. That's available to him. Did you know that? Because God says, and Christ says, that it's available to all who ask. Not just the ones who don't kill people. It's to all. So he comes in the church because he had been watching Mac for a long time, and he'd been seeing Mac go through such pain. And God had laid it on this man's heart to confront Mac and ask for forgiveness. And so at the end of the movie, that's how the movie ended. He comes up and he says, I was once this man, and now I'm this man. I found Christ, and he changed me. And so he came to face with this Mac, and he said, I'm the one that killed your child, and I know there's no way I could ever do anything to ease your pain or to change that. But I'm just asking that you show mercy upon me. And I'm asking for your forgiveness. So Max stands up out of the pew, tears running down his face. Not one word was said. He reached into his lapel of his jacket and pulled out his grace card, and he just handed it to him. And of course the man read it, just what I read in the beginning. And it says, I will ask your forgiveness, and I will grant you the same. And they embraced. And I looked at that moment, and I really, again, I mean, that's the second time or the third time I've seen that movie, because it's really an amazing movie. You haven't seen it, you need to see it. Trust me, me telling you the end that isn't going to take anything away from the movie, you're still going to cry. But the power of God right there is remarkable. That a man that can lose his child, facing the man that took his child from him and embracing him in tears and said, I forgive you, with a card that he had in his hand. You know, we all think to ourselves, can I do that? Would I do that? Some say no, some say yes. I don't think any of us ever really know unless we were faced with that kind of situation, which God, I pray and forbid that never happens to anybody in this room, or anybody, period. It's horrific. I couldn't imagine. But something like that, no one knows how they're going to react. What I do know is that I would hope that I would be strong enough in my faith to go to Christ, to ask him, what do I do? Or help me do what needs to be done. Because it's only through him that anything like that can ever happen. That's it. But kind of got off track a little bit. It just was really this whole last 6 or 7 weeks have been kind of profound for me. But 1 Peter 4:10 says, as each one has received a gift, minister it to one another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. We are definitely supposed to reach out. You know, when Christ ascended, he gave the disciples their great commission to go out amongst the world, spread the good news, tell everybody. That includes grace, mercy, forgiveness. Matthew 7:2, and I know you've heard this before because I know how he's talked about it, but as I was going through the study, it came to mind, and it tells us, for with what judgment you judge, you will be judged. And with the measure you used, it will be measured back to you. So it's telling you how you're going to be judged. It's telling you how Christ is going to measure his grace and his forgiveness and his mercy to you based on how you administered it to others. Because we don't have the right to say, no, I'm not going to forgive you. Because if that's the case, again, God has many reasons why he should not forgive us every single day. We just don't have that right. And, you know, I struggle with a lot of things. You can ask my wife. And it's still, you know, I still struggle with some of it, but I've gotten a lot better because I understand it better. It's not because she just keeps telling me. But that is, forgiveness is freedom. If nobody has truly ever had something that was just really angering you, that you were able to forgive and get over, God bless you for that. But when you can truly forgive, you can get over what you are angered or resenting. It's freedom. The weight just lifts off your shoulders. You know, Paul talks a lot about being the bondservant of Christ. And when you say those words, bondservant, you're like, he's putting himself into servitude. He's becoming a slave. No. He's getting freedom through Christ. Because Christ gives us freedom. It's only through Christ that we can have that kind of forgiveness, that we can offer that kind of mercy, that kind of grace. Because that's what Christ gives us. So that we can take what he gives us and then we can basically pay it forward. That's what he wants us to do. Pay it forward. So do we have control over emotions, or do they control us? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Because if your emotions are controlling you, you're not going to be able to have forgiveness. You have to make a choice. You have to choose to extend grace and mercy. And then you have to work. Notice that word work, because it doesn't come easy. It doesn't just fall in your lap. You have to work at forgiving. When you do that, God can then come into your life, in your situations, show you forgiveness, show you mercy, and show you grace. But we have to work at it. It's not what I say, set it and forget it. You can't do that. It's a conscious decision, and it's an action. You have to actually choose to do it. We often say we can't do this, we can't do that. And it's funny that Mac and the Mac in both movies, again, they were both named the same, which is pretty cool. They both said the same thing. Can't do it. Cannot forgive. Can't. That's where they use can't. And in the shack, when Papa's sitting on the rock before they go to find the body, he looks at him and says, Mac, it's not that you can't do it. It's that you won't do it. It's a choice. Mac couldn't make the choice to let God deal with the discipline, punishment, whatever you want to call it, for this man, and forgive this man so God can work in Mac's life. He wouldn't do it. It's not that he couldn't. He could do it. But he allowed his emotions, he allowed his anger, his resentment. He was, again, I couldn't imagine the kind of emotion you'd truly be feeling in that situation. But he allowed those emotions to control the way his mind was thinking, which it controlled the way his heart felt. And when your heart feels that way, you're going to have to change it, because God can't get through that. Anger, resentment, all they do is they hurt you. They also hurt the ones around you, though, because ultimately you're not a very nice person to be around. Because ultimately that anger takes you over, and you look at life through dark, gloomy, stormy glasses. And every day in your life looks like today when I came to church and the clouds were black. That's all it does. And that's why forgiveness is not for the other person. The forgiveness is for you. The forgiveness is you saying, I give this to you. I'm done trying to deal with it. You handle it. I am going to be okay. That's what the forgiveness is for. In order to do that, you have to take ownership. You have to take ownership, and you have to take responsibility for your own actions and your own emotions. My wife, we don't argue much. Of course, I would lose anyways. But we don't really argue much. God has put an amazing woman in my life, and He's matched two people together. And those of you who know what I'm talking about, you're matched together by God. It's an amazing relationship. But you have to take ownership of your emotions. And when you take ownership, then you're able to go through the problem instead of around the problem or try to avoid the problem. And she told me one time, I said something like, where you're really frustrating me or you're making me mad or something. And she said, I'm not making you anything. You're choosing to be angry. Of course, that made me more mad because I knew she was right. I was like, how did she do that? But it's true. You can either let your situation, your emotions, and your feelings control how you react, or you can be purposefully acting on a situation and control it without having the emotions drive what you're doing. It's very, very, very hard. Most of these things that are preached and taught and done up on slides, they look really easy on paper and you can just talk about them, but when it comes to implementation, It's very difficult. Most of them are very complicated to implement. But when we refuse to do that, Christ can't work in us. We hinder him. We basically shackle his hands of blessings because we are refusing to allow God to be God. But when we show that grace, we show that mercy, we give forgiveness, God can then come into our situations and start affecting the people around us that we feel have wronged us, or maybe have wronged us, or that whatever the situation is, he can then work in that scenario. But as long as you're trying to control that, he won't touch it, because there can't be two gods. And when you are trying to control your own situation, you're trying to be God over your own life. When you're trying to fix all these things, you're trying to be God over your own life. And when you're trying to be God, God can't be God. You know, April gave a pretty amazing testimony a couple weeks ago. And she went through a lot of hardship, a lot of trials. But I stand in amazement and in awe at the person she is right now, because you would never know, because she's an amazing person. And I'm pretty sure that's because she made the choice to not let that situation affect her and make her an angry person. Not that she didn't have bad days, not that she does things perfectly, but at some point she said, God, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to be that. I want you to take it. And that's what it is. It's a choice. Because if you let bitterness consume your life, you're going to die a very lonely, hurtful person. And God can't work in your life. He can't work in people around you. He can't bestow the blessings upon you that he wants to. He wants to bless us so bad that our storehouses are overflowing with blessings, but we don't let him do that because we stay in control. But she rose above it, as do a lot of people that make that choice to not let things determine who they are as they continue to go through their life. And it takes God. So to showing grace, mercy, and forgiveness, let the other person have no consequences. And I know I'm right at 7:30. I'm sorry. I'm wrapping up here in just a couple minutes. We got started. The short answer to that question is no. There's always consequences. Every action you have has a consequence. Everything you do, whether it be good or bad, is going to have either a positive or negative consequence. Hebrews 12:3-11 says, "For consider him who endures such hostility from sinners against himself, lest you become weary and discouraged in your souls. You have not yet resisted to bloodshed, striving against sin, and you have forgotten the exhortation which speaks to you as to sons. My son, do not despise the chastening of the Lord, nor be discouraged when you are rebuked by him. For whom the Lord loves, he chastens, and scourges every son whom he receives. If you endure chastening, God deals with you as with sons. For what son is there whom a father does not chasten? But if you are without chastening, of which all have become partakers, then you are illegitimate and not sons. Furthermore, we have had human fathers who corrected us, and we paid them respect. Shall we not much more readily be subjected to the Father of spirits and live?" That's pretty poignant. And they don't get away with it. Because when you give it to God, God's going to find there's going to be some sort of repercussion. There's going to be some sort of consequence, whether it's today, tomorrow, a year, 5 years. It's going to happen. So don't forget, Wednesday we're having fellowship dinner. Everybody's welcome. We're going to do it at Logan, 6:30. And it's just a time to come together and be social and enjoy one another's company. I will be making the Facebook post, so if you could please RSVP with maybe how many people you'll have. They don't take reservations, but like last time, what I did was I just went in and I told them that we had X number of people coming, and they did a really good job of preparing a table for us. So just let me know. I do want to give a little bit of a praise and really glory to God, because just an update on my son. He has been able to get his license back. He's got a car to drive. He's got a job. Well, hopefully. He went to 2 interviews. It looks real good. He feels really confident he's going to have a job. And he continues to make the choices that God wants him to make, and he continues to improve his situation now that he's out. He's got a long road ahead, and he still has trials that he's going to have to work through, but he knows God has shown him a lot of favor because he's done what he was supposed to do, and the people around him, we lifted him up in prayer, and we left it in God's hands. So I'm give God all the glory for that, and that's pretty awesome. So we're going to go ahead and close the prayer, and then you guys can zoom off and have a great week, or swim, get your boat, however you're going to get out of here. So let's go to the Lord in prayer and we'll close it out. Father, we thank you so much for the opportunity to come and gather and study your word and understand your scripture and fellowship. Most of all, we thank you so much for your son dying on the cross to give us the salvation that we have, to shed his blood so that we can have forgiveness, so that we can have your mercy and your grace. And we just ask that as we go about our daily lives, that we understand that we have to just give it to you and let you deal with it. We have to give our troubles to you. We just ask that you put that understanding in our hearts and just help us as we go about, that we can show others the forgiveness, the grace, and the mercy that you show us, so that we can just let you be you and bestow us with blessings like we've never seen before. I thank you for this church body. I thank you for this church. I thank you for my awesome wife and my amazing life that I have, and my wonderful kids, and I'm so grateful. You have blessed me and shown me more grace than I absolutely deserve. Please keep us all safe as we get out of here through this weather, and let's have a great rest of the weekend, and keep Howie safe as he's in Cleveland, and just let him enjoy his time and have safe travels back. And these things we pray in Christ Jesus' name. Amen. Well, thanks everybody. I appreciate it. Looking at the radar, I hope we do have some votes.